Alright, class, settle down and let me tell you a story. Yes, I know we're a little bit late for the simple reason that I just got back. The news has finally broken. VSHOJO has folded. So why don't we check out their statement that they released in their Twitter/X account? VSHOJO has failed, and I've mismanaged the company into the situation you're all witnessing. So today, I am sharing the difficult news that VSHOJO is shutting down, and I take full responsibility for the decisions that led us to this point. I've been doing everything I can to fundraise and right the ship these past few months, but despite my efforts, we are in a worse position, and those I care about are now paying the price. So, um, CEO says they are winding up the company's operation, if I'm not mistaken. VSHOJO has declared its IPO. It's a publicly owned corporation. If I'm wrong, please put it down in the comments. So, what usually happens when a company folds or winds up is that its existence will last for a limited amount of time until all of its debts will be settled. So, what will happen now would be its liquidation process. The company's assets would basically be turned over to a receiver. Of course, I'm only talking about what happens in the local jurisdiction. I can't talk about what happens under Japanese law. And usually, what happens next is that creditors or those that are owed money must file a claim to the receiver, who will basically act as the guardian of the company's remaining assets, and then it will be liquidated, and of course, priority will take precedence. So it's going to take a couple of months before the people that are owed will be actually paid. And that's assuming that it actually has assets left. Hopefully, the company's remaining assets aren't mortgaged or aren't being held as collateral for other debts. If not, then liquidation will continue. If it's being held as already being held as collateral, or if it's already being held under mortgage, then yeah, it's going to get more complicated, and those that are presently old are going to have to wait until liquidation proceedings are over before they can get their share. Let's keep on going with the statement. Over the past few years, we raised around $11 million to pursue a bold, talent-first approaching in VTubing, prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits to achieve long-term sustainability. Our funding went directly to our creators through generous splits, debut investments, infrastructure, concerts, events, and staffing, all designed to support them. We all wanted talent to own their IP, which we knew was a unique creator-first approach for an agency. I never knew that. However, despite all our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain that model, and eventually we ran out of money. Question is, where did the money go? These talents weren't idle. These talents were working hard. Where exactly was this money spent? Where did the money go? That's the biggest question. Additionally, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. At that time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs, and I firmly believed, based on the information available to us, that we would be able to do so and cover all expenses. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts, and I made the decision to pursue funding, and I own its consequences. Okay, so what he's saying right here is that he spent the money Iron Mouse earned for the foundation, and quote unquote, he didn't know that it was supposed to be made for a charitable foundation. He simply thought it was revenue that was earned by the company for, well, revenue sake, for earnings sake. He didn't know that it was earmarked for a charitable foundation. At least that's his excuse right now. But then again, going back to the previous paragraph, where exactly did the money go? What exactly did they do with the money? It's not like these talents were all sitting on their asses just waiting for cash. I mean, that's the best thing about this business is that it's almost you can almost consider it as commission based, since The earnings made by these people are based on their hard work. Basically based on their hours and how much they achieve during those particular hours. And it's not like they're waiting for their salaries. And next is that I am deeply sorry to all the talent, staff, friends, and community members who believed in our brand. You did not deserve this. So, Justin right here is taking the apologetic approach. If you guys remember what happened to Selen Tatsuki and Niji Sanji, the whole fiasco, or Niji thought Selen was going to go on the offensive, so they got all defensive and they made all of their talents defend the company instead. But here, I guess they couldn't do that for the simple reason that almost all of their talents, at least those who mattered, already jumped ship. So there's no one left to defend the company except the CEO himself. So, just to recap, the company's folding, but hopefully there's enough. It has enough assets left to pay off everyone that's owed, and hopefully those assets aren't already held in collateral or held in mortgage to cover existing debts, or else it would definitely take longer for the people that are owed to actually get paid, if they will get paid at all, or if there's going to be any assets left at all. And of course, with regards to the foundation money which Iron Mouse raised, he's saying he thought it was simply basic revenue. He didn't know that it was earmarked for a charitable institution. So that's his excuse. And again, he's taking the basic Japanese company route of being apologetic and bowing in front of a press conference like you guys see on TV. Anyways, that's all. I'm guessing our links down in the description. Of course, we've got some big names, even Iron Mouse. You broke my heart, my spirit, and my trust. Because I'm guessing, here's the thing, I believe in her first statement, which we covered in our previous video, I honestly believe that she was willing to settle this behind the scenes. However, this broke the camel's back when they spent the money that was earmarked for her foundation. I guess that's why she's so distraught. That's why she's so hurt right now. Anyways, guys, that's all we have for now. I'll see you guys around. Bye! Thank you for watching, guys. So if you want me to check out other stories here on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. We upload on the weekends, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Also, check out our Twitch channel where you can watch me do this live. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo, and class dismissed.